Hey, it is Eric and it is Nick, and we are back from NCM Motorsports Park and the Colonel and the Sinkhole, the two identifying things for Bowling Green, Kentucky.
Yeah, and we had a great judging lineup for this event. We had Judge Shelley, who has become a mainstay. We had Judge Kristen at her very first race outside of California. And we had Judge Brian, who raced the Corvette Grand Sport at the very first NCM race in 2017.
That's a Chevette Grand Sport. It's a very valuable piece. This crew brought some great penalties with them, including reenact your crime using a miniature Corvette toy, make friendship bracelets for the new judges who had just met and were very excited to hang out with each other. We had a team who left their fuel unattended, so they had to sing a Jimmy Buffett song. We've been recently informed by the United Nations this is considered cruel and unusual punishment, so that's probably the last time that'll happen. And we had the Judge Shelley special of wrap your whole team together with the saran wrap and march around the paddock. That's always a calamity that is highly entertaining.
Now, NCM, of course, stands for National Corvette Museum, and this racetrack is officially associated with the Bowling Green Corvette plant and the museum that's attached to it, which means this is a track rule and not a lemons rule. There is a dress code. You must dress in Corvette official attire. We're sorry we have to impose that on you, but like I said, track rule, not ours.
And speaking of Corvettes, last year we had 0 Corvettes. The year before that we had 4. We were back with good Corvette numbers with 5 of them, which means that it's time for...
Which Corvette sucks least?
Contestant number 1 is the Thunderbolt Grease Slappers. They've got a 5.3-liter Chevy truck motor and a 3-speed automatic, paired with a Tom Slick theme from the 1960s cartoons.
Contestant number 2 is Ironclad. They have what appears to be a stock small block V8, but it ran good, meaning they probably have $25,000 in upgrades.
Contestant number 3 is Corvette Grand Turd, a later LT1 6-speed car that was a former autocross car, which is how you know it's good, featuring tattered fiberglass from a parking incident.
Contestant number 4 was ZR1B, which was suspiciously similar to car 851, and that's because it was run by the brother of 851's team captain. He towed all the way from Salt Lake City only to prove that his brother is more successful.
Contestant number 5 is Hippocratic Oath, a Lemons Rally winner that was originally a flood-totaled car. Totally stock, nothing else done to it.
Those are the contestants, and now it's time to answer the question that's on everybody's mind.
Which Corvette sucks least?
Get your pet spayed or neutered.
It wasn't just Corvettes at this race. We also had a whole bunch of awesome Camaros and Firebirds. We'll start with Cross Thread Racing, which was painted up like the Camaro that raced at Le Mans this past summer.
You had the Flying Bluritos, also a Camaro. They've got a luchador theme, that's always good. And they had a Pinata.
And the Van Halen car, putting together two very like things, Camaros and Van Halens. They have regressed to Class C from Class A over a whole bunch of races. They continue to not dominate Class C.
And then there was the Fire Chicken, the lone Firebird entry, and Wretched Wrenches, and that was a Camaro. These two cars wore more or less the same livery.
Oh, man, that's like wearing the same dress to prom. That's like wearing the same suit as your twin. That's like remembering to wear both pants and a shirt to the Dollar General. Worth pointing out, the Wretched Wrenches had the carrier-bearing mount fail on their Camaro, so they made one out of angle iron, which they reported was not substantially more vibraty than the GM one.
And what's Camaros and Firebirds without some Mustangs? We had a handful of those too. There was Carviver. Well, they stripped all of the gears off of their transmission, and where are they going to find a Mustang-ready T5 replacement? Well, about 8 feet away, where Hawaii 5 was also running a Mustang, and they had a spare transmission.
Not quite a Mustang, Thin Blue Swine's Thunderbird was there. During BS inspection, they hung around and did some Goodfellas-style extortion of teams in the name of charity for Lemons of Love. That was hella sweet. A little but terrible was their teammate from Wide Open Motorsports who brought a Cobra-swapped Fox body Mustang that was just a little bit overbuilt for lemons, started with penalty laps, never worked them off. There you go.
Now, distinctly not a Fox body with a Cobra engine swap was Bar Racing in their Toyota Corolla. This is an old rallycross beater. They just put a Lemons legal cage in it. It's got an automatic, and it has run 2 races flawlessly. In fact, they have so much spare time on their hands that they work to help out Turtle Racing Team. They've got a Tercel. This car is a stock 1.5 with a 4-speed. This car is right in the middle of the Class C battle with much faster cars, which is everything else in the class. Then something shot into the side of their oil pan like a bullet. That definitely was not part of a Camaro carrier bearing mount. All their oil spilled out. The bottom of the engine blew up. They were toast. That sucks, but we love this car and we love this team.
As usual, some great rookies showed up. Peacockified Racing and their Hyundai Elantra exploited the Korean car loophole. It's kind of a great bad car. The driving, not quite as good, but we love that these guys have been working on putting together a Lemons team for years. They showed up, they were so excited. We love seeing that.
Another group of first-timers was Full Circle Jerk Auto. They had a BMW E30. They came all the way from Austin, Texas. They had a partially completed Grey Poupon theme. We like the potential that they have, especially the time when they were off track for a while. We're like, oh, did they blow up? We went over there to see what was going on. They were taking a nap.
One more rookie team was Vaticant and their Mazda Miata. They're a bunch of old time trial guys who built a Pope Mobile, complete with its own security detail. That was great. They told us next time they come out, they're going to have the whole Pope Mobile on the car for the whole race. They also raced with a dead mouse that was stuck in a hole in the chassis. Never seen that before. Kind of weird.
Among those rookies was this team of veterans. It's Ho 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 Racing in their Honda Civic. They got a long-running Christmas theme. They were in the middle of running 3 races in less than 2 months. They came from Autobahn, where they blew up. They came here and finished 10th, by far their best finish ever. 2 weeks after this, they're going to Road America and undoubtedly will dominate.
As usual, lots of carnage at this race. Chester Cheetahs with their BMW 3 Series. These guys were rookies. They blew the motor up in about 7 laps and set off to go find a replacement a couple hours east. What they did not realize is Kentucky has 2 time zones, so they lost an hour going to the junkyard, suddenly had 1 hour less to pull the engine out, worked really fast and hard, got the engine out, brought it back, managed to swap it. It was a close call for them, though.
Then there was Team Focus. Folk You in a Ford Focus. This was a car that they bought previously customized, and it has a what was once sweet and is now completely hammered body kit, sort of like a Mustang Cobra. Partway through, they blew out the rear main seal, decided, wow, we've got this apart, let's do the clutch. They discovered the clutch had been done completely wrong by the previous owner, the guy who put on the completely sweet Mustang body Cobra kit. They had it apart for like the entire race.
Florida Samurais have this Subaru Impreza. It's somehow run flawlessly for 3 races, which is a warning sign if you own a Subaru, by the way. This time out, they finally paid the piper. The transmission blew itself completely apart. They spent all weekend rebuilding their first transmission and got the real Lemons experience in their 4th race.
On to the awards. Heroic Fix went to Crash in the Toyota Celica. This car is always a contender for the Class B win, and it was running great for about 2 hours. Then their motor, which is a bright pink 3S GE,
no shit.
It tossed a rod through the front of the block. They thought, hey, that's a pretty cool looking giant hole in the side of the engine. And then they ripped it out, drove hours away for a replacement, brought it back, put it in the car, and it fired right up. Heroic Fix done, right?
Yes, well!
Now, it turns out that the cool hole in the engine was where the connecting rod, or whatever, exited and shot directly through the radiator, which they didn't notice until they started filling it up with water.
I Got Screwed went to Mitata and their Mazda Miata. This is a car they got as an unfinished project, it was all disassembled, but it was complete. It had a motor, it had a tranny, it had suspension, and all they had to do was screw it back together and throw in the lemon safety stuff and go racing. So that's what they did, right?
Yes, well!
Instead of putting back the stock Miata engine, which as far as we know was running fine, they said, we're gonna go for performance. And they put in a built small block Chevy out of an old circle track car. Now, problem one with this was kind of a cheated up old race motor, so he got some penalty laps in BS. Problem number two was that it still had the stock Miata fuel tank, so it had about 40 minutes of range before having to make a pit stop. Problem number three, this cheated up old circle track motor was kind of f***ed up.
I'm going to go ahead and back up and say problem 1.5 is you have a billion horsepower in a car with an 86-inch wheelbase. So 300 feet into the race, I watched the driver just trying not to hit a wall. And of course, the engine then blew up after 3 laps. Anyway, that left them at -7 laps, so they dug around and found a 1970 Chevy truck small block V8 that they decided they were going to shoehorn back in there, fired it up, only to discover that the head gaskets were totally blown and all of the oil was just a milkshake. Blown head gasket, 2 small block Chevys, and a running Miata engine 800 miles away at home. They got screwed.
As you know, we have a drawing at the end of the race for a set of free Yokohama tires. You're entered into the drawing if you're running Yokohama tires on your Lemons car. Cleverly Hillbillies has a multi-car team, and they figured the best way to maximize our chances of winning that drawing is to put most of the cars on Yokohama tires. It's very simple, and it worked. Their S-Class Mercedes won the drawing, so they got another set of tires for the next race.
The regional award was the Ford Maverick presented by Firefest, and we'll back up and explain this here. Every so often we publish a wish list here or there of cars we'd love to see in Lemons, and we even made a video about it. At the top of most of those lists for more than a decade has been the Ford Maverick. The Psychobilly Crap Can guys said, well, we know where we can find a Maverick, so we were pretty danged excited to see it on the entry list.
Now, here's where we should mention, technically this is the very first Ford Maverick to race in Lemons, but the Psychobilly Crap Can guys are aficionados of hat cars wearing a different car as a hat. So for this, they found a C5 Corvette with crash damage on Copart, painstakingly sold all the parts back to recoup their budget, then put a Maverick body on top of the C5 Corvette chassis. They called this the Maverick and came up with a fictional backstory that it was the prototype from a long-lost partnership between Ford and Chevy. All of it was very well done, but it wasn't really a Ford Maverick.
So we call the trophy the Ford Maverick presented by Firefest in honor of immense disappointment. Judge's Choice went to Blue Flag Racing, who did the easy way to get to the Judge's Choice, which is to pander directly to the judges. In this case, their entire theme was Judge Shelley. They had stickers, they had decals, they had their picture taken with her several times. That's an easy pandering Judge's Choice there. I mention all these things, but really the real accomplishment is they did this without being creepy at all.
Organizer's Choice was jointly awarded to that team of 2 brothers and 2 Corvettes, ZR1B and Corvette Grand Turd. They had a classic Lemons Corvette weekend. The black car blew up immediately after like 6 laps, and then they went, well, we gotta find an LT1, but good news, we're in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Not good news, they had to drive hours away to find a replacement for some reason, and it took forever for them to swap their engine. The maroon Corvette ran okay, but it spent most of its weekend in the penalty box. The drivers were constantly getting saran wrapped together, but despite these setbacks, both of the teams took the whole thing in stride. They were in a good mood all weekend. They got the humor of it all, and well deserving of the Organizer's Choice.
The Halloween Meets Gasoline trophy for the best theme went to Loose Nuts and their Chevy Camaro. We have seen this team in the Pacific Northwest where they are undefeated at Halloween Meets Gasoline, so they decided to try their hand after they had moved at a southern race. Previously, they'd been the trailer park team and superheroes and God knows what else. This time they came as Lemons Hippies with protests during BS inspection. There was sit-ins at the driver's meeting. Randomly in the paddock, there was sign spinning. We had another sit-in at the trophy ceremony. They only broke character in true baby boomer fashion by selling out on Saturday night for a disco party in the paddock during the potluck. Very well executed. Nobody has beaten them yet at Halloween Meets Gasoline. They're going to be at Road Atlanta. That's your chance.
The index of effluency went to This Dog Won't Hunt in their Toyota Celica Supra. This thing is bone stock. It's got 13-inch pizza cutter wheels. It was one of the 3 slowest cars in the field. That's awesome on its own, but what really put it over the top was this Velocipaster theme, which is one of those jokes that 5 people in the Lemons paddock get. But fortunately for them, 2 of them are Lemons judges. I'm not a Lemons judge, so I have no idea what Velocipaster is.
Yeah, it's a low-budget B-movie about a past... let me just read what Google has to say here. Okay.
After losing his parents, a priest travels to China, where he inherits a mysterious ability that allows him to turn into a dinosaur. At first horrified by this new power, a hooker convinces him to use it to fight crime and ninjas.
Here's Lemons in a nutshell.
How many penalty laps do we need? 0 laps! 0 laps!
Every second you don't subscribe or watch one of these videos, another Vega is sent to the crusher. Won't you help us save Classic?